This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. If you aren't expecting adult language, why even bother listening? Welcome, my friends, to the Show Never Ends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason Iapicco.
I'm Truman, and this is episode 514, The Shits. Because I can't find another way to describe what happened this week.
You know what? Hold on, I'm going to play this real quick.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You had... where the fuck's the toilet sound? Oh, well. Wait, hold on. I know what I'm looking for. This one.
Lowest common denominator. It's fucking embarrassing!
Guys, unacceptable. Fucking acceptable.
I think I could just, for the next, 2 minutes, just play a bunch of the... Yeah, just run all them back to back to back, and nobody would ever think otherwise. Yeah. Or think that's wrong because of what this team does.
Yeah.
They don't love to win.
They don't hate to lose.
All right. Red Bulls with a 2-1 loss at Atlanta, not Philly, as I originally wrote in the agenda. A 1-0 loss at home, Nashville. Before we get into our thoughts, do we have anything from the fans on Blue Sky and Threads and stuff like that?
Just the one from Blue Sky. I'm going to pull it up here. Wait, actually have Dick Mack on Blue Sky said, such a promise. This was from the first game. Such a promising start. And then just the same garbage play we've gotten used to. And then TRM Cloughlin just kind of said I was kind of ranting about how we give up a goal every fucking game of the year. He said New England the second game, but the point still stands. They absolutely stink. And then I did just send a text message to our guest Pete from the band Keep Flying, who is on tour with my brother-in-law's band right now, Driveways. And I just want to ask him a simple question. I said, more annoying, being harassed by the Chicago police, which he kind of was on tour, or watching two painful New York Red Bull losses. He said Red Bull 1,000%, and it's not even close. That is bad. He actually just said, I'll read this too. He goes, it's not even fun to watch anymore. This is the first time in a long time that I've actually have had no hope, and it's really sad. I mean, last year sucked too, but dude, this week, my God.
Yeah. I mean, last year we all kind of knew what this was, right? Like, it was kind of the end of the previous quote era, as much as there was no real era. And we knew that this year was going to be growing pains, right? Like, realistically, we knew that this was not going to be an easy season. But holy fuck. Before we get to the dislikes, I got to mention it. When we lost to Philly, they were dead last in the Eastern Conference. When we lost to Atlanta, they were dead last in the Eastern Conference. We are still without a fucking shutout after... Hold on, I can see how many matches we played, because I don't remember off the top of my head. 23 matches. Wait, I'm sorry, that's Red Bulls 2. 20 matches played, 0 shutouts. I honestly don't even know if we've strung 90 minutes together across 2 different games with a shutout.
It's fucking mind-blowing. I'm literally just going through here, right here. February 28th, I believe, was the last time they had a shutout. Again, that was the game against New England. That has been it. But would you like to know how many times they've been shut out? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
You know, February was so far away. I completely forgot that we shut out a team on the second week of the season. Yeah.
I mean, this has just been a absolutely fucking embarrassing run of form, and it's the same thing that just happened a few weeks ago, where they go on the road to a shit ass team, and they fucking lose, and then they lose at home, and by the way, they get shut out, and then they lose again to a shit ass team and a shit ass team at home, and they fucking come home and they get shut out again.
It's fucking embarrassing!
And one win in between those two game losing streaks.
5 games since we came back from the World Cup, 1 win and 4 losses.
Yeah, not even a draw. Couldn't even get a fucking draw in there.
I gotta find. You go ahead and do your dislike. I gotta find something real quick as you're talking.
Are you want me to just ramble? I can fucking ramble.
Sure.
I can fucking ramble. Listen, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna go into what we dislike. I dislike this fucking team because they cannot play an entire fucking full game. Their second halves suck. Both these second halves were fucking terrible. I don't know which one was worse. Probably the game against Atlanta because they actually had a lead and they fucking gave up a goal. 70-something minute, 80th minute against a shit team. I'm probably more mad about that. But, I mean, again, you and I both predicted they would lose against Nashville. But it's the fucking way they do it. They had an almost goal in the first half. They looked discombobulated, disconjointed, whatever you want to say in the second half. Forsberg comes out, they lose any semblance of a fucking attack at all. And they give up a fucking goal in stoppage time and you knew it was over. I don't fucking get it. Like, I don't even know what there is to even like. Like, I don't know how we can bring up a like. Because these two games were absolutely so fucking bad. Bad.
There's nothing to like. We scored 1 goal against the worst team in the Eastern, or then the worst team in the Eastern Conference, and then did nothing.
Right.
So this is what I was looking. This is what I was looking for. So Michael Batista was covering the post-game presser from Bradley after the loss to Nashville. I'm not going to read the whole tweet thread, but this was one of them. Bradley asks fans to, quote, stick with us, unquote. Quote, part of being a fan is being emotional, unquote. Bradley accepts that. With the good comes the bad. Team needs the fans in the biggest way. Lot of big fans coming. Quote, if you are watching this team closely, you are seeing a lot of growth, unquote. What fucking growth is there when you lose 4 out of 5 off of a month off a World Cup break in the middle of your goddamn season?
Well, this is what pisses me off the most. This is the part that drives me crazy. He could sit there and say, hey, we're growing. It's a young team. We're going to develop. Look what some of these guys did with Red Bull 2, right? We're going to get there. But they're fucking not, because the young guys are going to get sold off at some point. So this is not like any other league where you develop players and you keep those players and you build a winning franchise. That's not what they're going to do. Like we talked about last week, they're going to fucking sell these guys off eventually. Thankfully, they already mentioned Julian Hall's not going anywhere. They said it'd have to take a miracle deal for him to leave over the summer, but that doesn't mean at the end of the season they'll probably fucking ship him off if he continues a really good run of form, in the rest of the season. That's the part that it just drives you up a fucking wall, because these guys aren't going to stay here. So if the young guys are not going to stay, you need to bring in more talent, develop a winning team. I don't want to beat the dead horse again like we did last week, because this is exactly what we talked about last week. But it's just so frustrating that the end result will not be in a year or two. Have all these guys as Red Bull players, veterans, and being a playoff contender every year.
Listen, I know Bradley has. We talked about last week. The front office explicitly said the goal of this team is to sell young talent, right? Which means the goal of the first team coach is not to win games, it's to develop talent that gets sold, right? That is clearly the priority that Michael Bradley has been told to do.
Then
And
why
he
would
can't come
anyone
out.
come to these fucking games?
Right. Well, that whole thing aside, but Bradley obviously can't come out here and say, yeah, we suck. Right? He can't, because his whole thing has got to be promoting players and saying we're growing as a team, which obviously is bullshit. Like I just said, we lost 4 out of 5 off of the bounce of the World Cup. Right?
Yep.
2 of them against the worst team in the East.
They came in pretty well at the end of or before the World Cup break.
They had happened to have the schedule up. It wasn't the greatest run in. No, it wasn't the greatest run in.
They won 2 or 3, right? They had 2 wins and a draw.
They actually won 3 or 4. They beat it. So this is all in May. They beat Chicago on the road 3-1.
Right.
Columbus at home 3-2.
Yep.
Tied New York City at home 1-1. And this one should have been more, but they beat Sporting KC 2-1 on the road.
Yep.
Right? So going into the World Cup, 3 out of 4 wins. That's looking pretty good. And remind me, what player off the Red Bulls went to the World Cup this year? None, right?
I'm still trying to think. I'm still trying to rack my brain about how many players went. Oh, yeah. Can't remember a single one.
So you had, between May 23rd and July 22nd, you pretty much had 2 months off. And I get it that without real games, it's tough to keep momentum going. You came back to one of the worst teams in the league and got blown out 3-1. And I say blown out because that game was very really possible to be 3-0, and it would have been a not unfair result for Philly to have won that game 3-0. Mm-hmm. Lose 2-0 at home to Charlotte, squeak out, and I'm not kidding, they squeaked out a 3-2 win against Orlando, and lose horribly, giving up 2 goals in the second half against a listless Atlanta team. Right?
Yep.
Now, granted, part of that was Dylan Nealis getting a red card. I don't, honestly, I can't even remember if that's a legit red card. No, I think it was a legit red card. Right? So, yeah, they were playing for 10 men for 2 of those games. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. How I went back to 2024 when I made that statement. Let me go back. Right game. Okay, so they were never down a guy. That was just looking at the wrong game. But gave up 2 goals in about 13 minutes. Atlanta looked like dog shit that first half. We should have went into halftime at minimum 2 or 3 up.
Yep.
Should have broken their spirit early in the second half. Didn't allow them to came back. Nashville, I'll be perfectly honest, I didn't watch Nashville game. I thought my time was better spent going to watch 35th anniversary screening of Point Break, and it was. I watched a 10-minute recap, and it was from our side. 1 shot, goal from Emil Forsberg that, okay, it was a good save, but nothing extraordinary. And they're just missing the net a bunch. And Horvath had 1 good save, but he was, for some reason, on the 6-yard box instead of back towards his goal. I don't know why. I don't have context, but then he gets frozen. And I don't blame him necessarily for the free kick because of how he was moving when the ball got headed.
I don't either. And by the way, it's again giving up another fucking free kick goal.
Yeah.
Another set piece goal against.
But Michael Bradley, I know PR is part of a coach's thing now. But realistically, how do you sit here losing 4 out of the 5 games like this and saying that there's growth? If there was growth, we would have won at least the 2 games against the worst fucking teams in the conference. We didn't.
Right, or held on for a draw against Nashville and not give up another set piece.
Yeah.
That's growth. Hey, we learned from our mistakes of giving up 4,000 set piece goals. Maybe we could stop one, in stoppage time at home.
I am going to borrow, I wish I clipped this now. I may have to. I'm going to borrow a line from the new season Ted Lasso. It happens when you polish a turd. You just have a shinier turd and a brown rag. I'm pretty sure I quoted that wrong, but you get the point. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You want to tell me that this is basically a glorified academy team? Fine. Like, okay, it sucks, but you know what? I'll watch it as long as you give me exciting, games that are exciting. We lose to Nashville 3-2. Hey, guess what? We went toe to toe against the best team in the league, and we just came out on the wrong side of it. I can accept that. Hey, Atlanta beat us 5-4. It's like, well, realistically, we should have won that game, but Atlanta went on a freaking scoring streak for some out of nowhere. Okay, it sucks, but we at least scored 4.
Yep.
Like, no, that's not what we're getting out of this. Like, these aren't like losses where we can be like, yeah, it sucks, but you know what? At least it shows something, right? Saying we scored 4 goals, we still lost. Hey, our defense sucks, but hey, the offense is kicking in. Or we lose. You can't even say the defense was improvement in the Nashville game because you compare it to Atlanta. Atlanta could have scored 3 or 4 in that second half.
Yeah. Would you like to know, or do you want to guess how many set-piece goals the Red Bulls have given up this season? And this is according to FOTMob. So I've looked this up on FOTMob. How many goals they've conceded, and out of 30 teams, where do they rank?
They have 42 goals against. I'm just going to go straight down the middle and say 21 goals because I feel like that would be right.
Off a set-piece?
Yeah.
Okay, and then where do you think they rank?
I feel like they would be like first or second in the league in terms of goals conceded off of set pieces.
So set-piece goals conceded, according to FOTMob, is 11.
Okay, I'm only off by 10.
And they are 29th out of 30 teams. So they are second to last in conceded.
I was right on that one.
Yes. Yep. Toronto is the only team that's worse with 12. And tied with 11 is actually NYCFC.
But see, NYCFC gets away with it because they've only given 29 goals total all season.
So, by the way, guys, I think I talk about this every year and multiple times. FOTMob, they need to sponsor us because I talk about this app all the time. Just saying.
You know what's sad looking at this? We've given up 42 goals all year. Except for Orlando City. We're currently 8th place. Orlando City is 10th. Except for Orlando, 9th through 15th have all conceded less than us. Cincinnati, for some reason, has conceded more, but they've also scored 48. So they're at least at a positive goal difference. Go to the Western Conference, only last place Sporting Kansas City has conceded more than us. Total. I'm not even talking just set pieces, total.
Right.
And Sporting KC has conceded 7 more goals to us, has a minus 30 goal difference to our minus 12. I was doing good in terms of my blood pressure today. And then I started talking about that.
Yeah, it's just it's completely insane.
All right, should we just move on?
Moving on. There's nothing to like. There is absolutely nothing to like about.
Well, the one thing to like is that we at least both predicted a loss against Nashville, so we just got a point.
All right, I'll give us that.
That's it. That's all.
That is all we have.
So you're at 9, I'm at 3.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. I have 3 points off of 20 games this year. That's how easy it's been predicting the Red Bulls.
God.
All right. Well, Red Bulls hosting this weekend Chicago on Saturday, August 22nd, 7:30 p.m. Lewandowski coming to town, so you know this is going to be a pro Chicago crowd. 2026 record, which I did not read, so hold on. Chicago, 11-2-6, plus 11 goal difference, 35 points, third in the Eastern Conference. Like I said, we had the 3-1 win over them just before the World Cup break, but that's at this point almost 3 months ago. Truman, what's your prediction for what's going to happen on Saturday?
How do you have any faith in this team whatsoever? Because I don't. None. They've crushed the faith we had before the World Cup break. They've completely annihilated it. You can't trust them to win anywhere right now. I don't trust them to win at home. You can't fucking trust them to beat shitty teams on the road. Now they host Chicago. It's and a short break 1-0 loss, because fuck it. They're not going to get a shutout. It's not happening. I can't trust them whatsoever to do anything with tired legs. 2 losses in a row. I can't even pray for a draw. I'm going to stay miserable. We do this all the time until they actually prove themselves to us, which they have not done so far in the second half. Minus 1 game. They gave us a slight bit of hope, and they destroyed that within a week.
Sorry, did you actually say a score? Because I feel like I didn't hear one.
1-0 loss.
Okay. By the way, Chicago comes into this game on a 6-game winning streak across Leagues Cup and MLS play.
Sweet. I expect that to continue.
Yep. And I'm going to go crazy because we can't stop a nosebleed. I'm going to say it's a 5-2 loss.
Holy shit.
Yep. I believe 5-2 was the scoreline when we clinched the Shield. So what the fuck? We'll just going to get it back this time. That's how much I don't trust this team.
Wow.
It's fucking embarrassing! Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I love that soundbite so much.
Jesus Christ, that is just Babytown frolics.
Seriously, I could just play like a good 2 minutes of negative sound clips and nobody would say a goddamn thing at this point.
Guys, unacceptable. Fucking acceptable.
Yes. The good news is we're going to have some positive teams to talk about.
Yes. So, Red Bulls 2 at least has some sort of... Okay, it's just... Let me talk the thing. So they won 2-1 Atalanta 2, 11-4-8 record, 38 points, plus 7 goal difference, 10th in the Eastern Conference. Next match is TFC 2, Sunday, August 23rd, 7 p.m. I was going to talk about this earlier. I forgot. I mentioned earlier this year that maybe hiring the coach who is only on the Red Bull 2 staff for half a season wasn't the best idea. So how is it that we promoted the guy and he can't... And I know the argument is going to be this is not academy players, but if he's supposed to be the guy who can build a team up, right? Over half a season, he finished out a championship run. So over half a season MLS, there's no reason he can't have a winning record. But yet, in the Red Bulls 2 team right now has a winning record.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
Michael Bradley.
Yep, crushing it still.
So, yeah. Gotham FC. Last match, they won 2-1 versus the KC Current. Their record is 13-4-3, 43 points, plus 13 goal difference. Still number 1 in the NWSL. Their next match is at Angel City FC on Sunday, August 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'll tell you something really funny, too. So, minor, tiny spoiler alert if anyone who hasn't watched Ted Lasso yet. This is probably the tiniest.
Hold on. Season 2 or episode 3? Or just talk.
Season 5. As you know, I'm already in season 5. You guys are still in season 4.
Just don't talk about season 4, episode 3. I have not watched that one yet.
No. So the first episode, and it's just talking about how they go to a KC Current game, right? And they're watching them play against Gotham FC, and I think the scoreline ends up being 1-0, right? They show the highlight of the 1 goal given up, but that week was the same week I started season 3, and we got revenge on them. We won 2-1. Take that, KC Current. Not in our house. So I had to kind of enjoy that. I'm like, oh, we just lost to them, but you know what? We just beat them. That's great. So nice little bit of a revenge game for Gotham.
So, by the way, the barbecue place, Gates Barbecue, that was in season 4, episode 1. Mm-hmm. There's multiple locations. I did not go to the location that they filmed at, but I did go to one of the other ones when I was out in KC for the U.S. Open Cup final in 2017.
And I mentioned...
thought I had to put it out there that I had the same brand of barbecue that was on Ted Lasso.
And I mentioned to you guys, too, that, again, for anyone who watched at least the first episode, Higgins does go to the Negro League Baseball Museum, and I was there. I was there in those exact spots that he stood. I visited that place. It's super cool. If you're ever in Kansas City, Highly recommend it. And then I highly recommend you should probably go see the grave of Satchel Paige because I was there too, and that was also really cool.
Yeah, I need to do that if I ever go back to KC.
I had a great time in Kansas City. I think it's
KC, Missouri. KC,
Yes.
Missouri, not KC, KC.
yeah, Kansas City, Kansas is very boring. Extremely boring. There's nothing going on.
No. Oh, I don't even think Sporting KC Stadium is technically in Kansas City, Kansas, if I'm right.
No, it is. You know how you know it is? Because I believe there's a water tower next to the stadium that says Kansas City, Kansas on it.
Oh, it is. It's just, it wasn't as close as I remember to Kansas City, Missouri, so that's why I thought it wasn't.
It is right next to the.
Oh, Jesus.
There's
This
a minor
close
league
than I thought.
ballpark there, and the speedway is right there. They're all together in one giant area, and soon to be, I guess, the Chiefs Stadium in a few years.
Yeah. You know what it is? Because I was on the bus with ESC going out there, and it doesn't look that far on the map, but I think it's just whatever way we took that day. It just seemed like it took forever to get there.
It's possible.
Yeah. We also had a park across the street from the stadium near the KC Speedway. Kansas Speedway, I mean.
Yep.
Anyway, time for F1 update.
And box now, box for hard. Stay out. Fuck! What? Tire.
So we're back, right? F1 is back this weekend, the Dutch Grand Prix. It's a sprint weekend. Always exciting where I believe, looking at this, the sprint is at 6 in the morning. Don't
Jesus.
think I'll be watching that live. I do not believe I'll catch that. Tomorrow's sprint qualifying is at 10:30, according to this. A 6 a.m. sprint, 10 a.m. qualifying, 9 a.m. race. Which, well, you know what? I'm not going to say what that's going to lead into. We'll bring that into the next segment. But I will say, I'm sure you saw Max Verstappen signing with Red Bulls, I think until at least 2030. So that was the big news
And
today.
then, because this was the quote silly season, that wasn't that silly. What was it? Signs re-upped with Williams.
Yep.
So did Alex Albon.
Yep.
There's not much driver movement this year. It was always going to be wherever Max goes. Then it was going to. If Max went somewhere else, then everything else would go crazy. So.
Right. And then, of course, like we talked about, Woody Johnson buying an Aston Martin, which guarantees that team will finish last every year.
The goddamn Jets.
So he will definitely put his stink all over Aston Martin. That's exciting.
Yep.
All the other teams are going to
I wish he would just go live in England full time.
Let's just go away. Just leave.
All right. Next up, the dumping ground.
I'm the trash man.
So great news. Guess what? Formula One leads right into. That's right. Liverpool's first game of the season because the Premier League is kicking off. Super excited because it just means more soccer for everybody. More games.
And in your case, better soccer than I've been watching.
Right. I hope. I can only hope. But it's nice because the race is at 9 a.m. and Liverpool plays at Newcastle at 11:30. So that's very exciting. But you got Premier League this weekend. Championship already kicked off. But we got, let me see, I'm just going to pull this up. You got one game tomorrow. Then you have 3, 4, 5 games on Saturday. Sunday we have 3 games. And do we have a Monday game? And we have 1 Monday game. So you got the full
And
weekend.
then the EFL Cup midweek.
Oh, all right. Yep.
Does Everton have Preston on on Wednesday?
So a lot
The
going
EFL Cup.
on. That's exciting. Also, one of my coworkers and I have decided to, because we don't follow enough teams, we randomly picked a new league, and that's the J League in Japan. And we're picking random teams. So if you guys want to know my random team, it is V Varan Nagasaki. and we are currently sitting. Where are we? Oh, 10th on the table. 10th on the table. So
what happened to
the Swindon Supermarine?
Yes, them.
Swindon Supermarine. Let's see how we are doing this year. Oh, well, I don't think they played a game so far this year because it's only showing last year's table.
Fair enough.
But I will tell you, their next match is not even listed on FOTMob. But I'm sure they're still playing, everybody. Don't you worry about Swindon Supermarine. They are playing, I'll tell you, they are playing Didcot Town in the Emirates Cup this weekend. So there we go.
Is that the FA Cup?
That is the FA Cup. That is the Emirates
Okay,
FA
I couldn't remember if that's the...
They are in the FA Cup preliminary round.
That's right, because they don't auto-qualify. Are those... What is the PSF?
And they actually have played some games already, as I'm seeing they've already played.
Yeah, they played preseason friendlies. They actually have played Southern League Division 1 games so far. According to their website, they are 3-0 in the league. They've beaten Shaftesbury, Bishop's Cleeve, and Slimbridge.
Jeez.
First 2-0, and then Slimbridge they beat 7-2.
What a squad.
Yep. Okay. MLS playoffs. We're not going to go into in depth just because it may change, but the rumor right now is that at some point they're going to switch from 2 conferences to 5 divisions. Why? Who the fuck knows? They're going to have a 20-team playoff where divisions don't have a fucking... don't factor in at all to the 20. It's just literally top 20 records. 4 play-in games, and then reseed every game, but with double elimination somehow. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's super stupid.
Yes. In a way, only MLS can be.
Well, Jesus Christ, that is just babytown frolics.
If they do anything well, it's making things overly complicated. They've been doing that since 1996.
And then it'll only last for 2 years, and then we'll have another playoff format.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, anything else for Dumping Grounds?
I don't believe so.
All right, then it's time for the last segment of the show, Truman's Terrible Team of the Week.
That's terrible.
I'm going to make this simple for you guys because this was a very embarrassing loss for this team. And that is the Seattle Mariners lost to the Milwaukee Brewers 22-0. I mean, that is
Damn.
horrific. I believe it was the worst loss in Mariners history. How could it not be when you literally lost by 22 runs? Like, you got shut out 22-0. So, I mean, that's before all the other leagues are really kicking off, that is just as bad can be.
Wow. All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's
before we
it.
wrap up. Okay. You can visit us at patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. $1 a month gets you exclusive content whenever we decide to do it. I want to thank our producers, Jeremiah Dempster, Steven Santos, Eddie Delecto. Thank you for doing the show. Email us, redbullrant@gmail.com. If you want to call and rant your heart out, 973-348-5329. You will get on the show at this point. Facebook.com/Red Bull Rant, on Blue Sky at Red Bull Rant for the show, at Dr. Stooge for myself, at the Truman, Instagram and Threads at Red Bull Rant, at Dr. Stooge, at Truman237. Subscribe via iTunes, YouTube Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify. Well, apparently on Spotify, our episodes are getting pulled really quick now. Spotify sent me a message on Tuesday that our episode from last week was pulled. So
sweet.
Yep. Last words before we get out of here.
I'm going to say this to Red Bull, and I mean Red Bull Racing, because I don't trust the New York Red Bulls at all. And I definitely don't trust them to give us any version of success. So you know what? For this weekend, I'm going to throw it out to Max Verstappen in Belgium and win.
And Lawson because he's filling in for Isaac Hadjar, which we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
All right. So for Truman and myself, this was episode 514 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, go Red Bulls Racing.
Yeah, see you later.